question that comes to their mind is, what is there on that road? How are we going to get there? How are we going to start? What is the now? What are the facts? What is the past? This is a sensor. I'm going to explain further. An intuitive person, if that person believed in the five sense, an intuitive person believed in what? In the sixth sense. Right? It's not that sixth sense, but the intuition. So if I tell them you're going into that route, the first question that comes to mind is not the wood and the greenery, but what is there? So it's not now and the past, it is the future. What are the possibilities? Intuitive people think about the possibilities. Repeat.
When you were defining sense.
Yeah. So I'm going further with the definition. But again, a sensitive person believes in what he or she can touch, or see, or smell, or taste. They use the five senses to trust the information. And they believe in the now. Intuitive people, they think about the possibility. So this is blue, so it means something. For a sensor, it's blue. It's a blue chair. Yeah. The sensor, absolutely. The feet on the ground. Lower risk in general. Absolutely. More into reality. Intuitive, more into possibilities. Yeah? Yes. Okay. So, do you know Malcolm Gladwell? Person who wrote The Tipping Point? He has a book called Playing. It talks about these intuitive people that are naturally intuitive or they gain intuition by practice. It's a very nice book. What do you see in this picture? A Mazda. How about this Mazda? No. So, what is the personality of this car?
Smiling.
Happy? Who said happy? And a lot of people will still... Do you see the happiness? The smile? And a lot of people are saying these people are crazy. It's a car. You cannot be happy. The person who sees the idea behind the idea is more intuitive. I'm not saying that if you so smile, then you're intuitive. I'm not saying that. I'm just giving you tips. Okay? So it's about perceiving information. How do we perceive information? Sensing people, they perceive through the five senses. Okay? They see, hear, touch, smell, or taste. That's the way they trust the information in.
Again, this can't be either or. I think that there's somewhere.
Always. For all of them. And the intuitive, they pay attention to what might be described as the sixth sense or the unseen possibilities, the world of meaning. So what I'm talking about actually, this lecture, for a lot of people they say ESTJ, so what? And for a lot of people, this means something. It's reminding me of a certain thing that happened yesterday with my boss, and now I can explain it because I'm not saying they're more analytical. I'm saying they see the things behind the ideas. Okay. So for a sensing person, for S people, they see people as they see life as very simple, black and white. X leads to Y, Y leads to Z. That's life. Life is simple, right? And the person will say that's too boring for me, because life is not an algebra problem. You cannot define all life by X, Y, and Z. And if you want to write it as an algebra problem, it should be drawn by Salvador Dali. You know Salvador Dali? You know the drawings of Salvador Dali? This is the drawing. Yeah? It's all about possibilities. Different possibilities. How many things you see. So let Salvador Dali put a formula and I'll accept it. So Salvador Dali put a formula. He said that yes, life is an X that doesn't have to lead to Y. X might lead to what? To Z. Or W. I changed the version. To W. And W might lead to what? Yeah, to the color blue. And color blue might lead to chicken quesadillas. So, and you ask this person, but how did you get to, what does that, and they say, I don't need the proof. I just know. Yeah, I just have the intuition that this would lead to that. Okay? So, right brain and left brain. And somebody is asking, I'm both actually. And actually, yes, because hopefully we have a complete brain. Right? And if we have a complete brain, then we have a right brain and left brain. Usually left brain is all about sensing. Right? The right brain is all about the connection of ideas. So yes, we do have both brain, but we still say some people are left brain, some people are right brain. It doesn't mean that they have half a brain. Some people do have it. Excuse me? Not at all, not at all. They are ambitious in their own way. They like to take calculated risks. And an intuitive person would say calculated risk is not a risk.
More into gut feeling. It's more into gut feeling.
More into gut feeling, yes. Now, is it good to go into totally gut feeling or totally into data? That's another thing. What should we do? We're going to the self-idea. I'm not going there. The best scenario ever, if wherever I am, I can use the other or not. But we're getting that in the conclusion of the actually, I will not go into what's better. I will not go into what's better because there is no better. No, the first one is right. Analytical, yes. The second one is not about emotion. Third dimension is about that. These are about the idea behind the facts. So, as a sensor person, I care about the facts. And to the person, what's the idea behind it? Okay, but I'm going to give you more. Sorry, I have to cut it short, but I'm giving you more. To develop, absolutely, and vice versa. The intuitive people to develop your sensor. So a boss asks two people, prepare for me a 3-year business plan. Okay, two people. They go and they spend a week. They come back with business proposal. One of them, he tells him after 1 week, one sheet of paper, this is my vision for the company. Another person, he comes back with a 50-slide presentation that has all the details of the last 5 years, what are the statistics in the company and in the country, and what are the projections for the next 3 years. Okay? Two different people. This person is obviously in our, what we're defining, intuitive. This person is sensing. Now, I am the boss. Let's say I'm a sensor. What would I say to this person? 1 week, you're not even working. How did you get there? Show me the fact. What would I say to this person? Good job. Now tell me about the big ideas. Not that I don't care about it, but I start here. Now, what if I am an intuitive person? What would I say to this person? So what? Where's your vision? You don't have a vision. And this person, yes, thank you very much. Now go and work on the details. I'm not saying they don't work on the details. But what's first? Okay?
If you're a combination of both,
you are a combination of both, always. And again, the best case scenario is wherever you are to develop the other arm. Okay, it's like playing basketball with the right arm, and the person who has practiced with his left arm has an advantage of other people. Exactly. Okay. So now please put the S on the right and the N on the left. Actually, the opposite. The N on the right and the S on the left. And choose what percentage are you? S or N? Not 50. 51? Yes. 50. How would you decide? What kind of data do you trust on? As a personality or as a major?
My personality.
Okay, so in that case, if you're sure about that, there is definitely more S. But some people go into a major not out of their personality, but out of other things. Okay, go back to the ocean. The three words that we wrote about the ocean. Okay? I'm going to give you an example of what you might have wrote. I'm sorry that I'm not going to discuss them a lot, but these three words that we wrote are most probably in one of these two sets, more or less. You can have the combination, but most probably are one of these sets. The first set is it's freedom. The ocean is freedom. Possibilities. It's wet. Life. The ocean is life. Eternity, relaxation, love. They all define the ocean. Okay? Now, if I bring somebody from outside that she doesn't know what we're talking about, and I ask her, what are we talking about? Would she guess? Would she guess we're talking about the ocean? Yeah? So, what about the other set? Blue, wavy, water, 70% of earth, fish. You're seeing some examples here? Yeah? Big ships. Yeah? So now if we bring a person from outside and she sees this, would she guess?
Yes.
Absolutely yes. This is more intuitive response. What is the message here? Don't take it personal, I'm only joking. Intuitive people, sometimes you say, guys, what is the message here? As a joke. The message here, intuitive people, sometimes you say things nobody understands. Yeah? Intuitive people, sometimes. Guys, so sorry, but we have to just tone the discussions down because some people are not hearing. So intuitive people, sometimes they say things nobody understands. Because they say in a lot of general stuff. And intuitive people, what do they say about censored people? You're boring. Ocean has water, of course it has water. Now tell me it's wet. Probably 70% of earth means life. See the difference in language? 70% of earth and life, more or less the same thing. But blue wavy fish, you're describing it. That's what an intuitive person would be judgmental and say. Does it make sense? So I'm giving you more things. Now here, we don't have time, but this is a must. Okay. I'm going to show you a small clip for 7 minutes. Yeah? That has two parts. A part that describes the difference between S and N. But the way he describes it is the difference between female and male. I personally don't agree. It is stereotyping. But it's funny. And then he will go into something called the nothing box that has nothing to do with what we have. But do we have couples here?
Yes.
Yeah, you will love that. Okay, so 7 minutes, and actually I'm going to cut shorter than 7. And this is on YouTube, Tale of Two Brains.
You fill in the blanks. Okay, so now we're going to start discussing men's brains, women's brains, and how they're very different from each other. Now, I want to start with men's brains. All right, now men's brains are very unique. Men's brains are made up of little boxes. And we have a box for everything. We've got a box for the car. We've got a box for the money. We've got a box for the job. We've got a box for you. We've got a box for the kids. We've got a box for your mother somewhere in the basement. We got boxes everywhere. And the rule is, the boxes don't touch. When a man discusses a particular subject, we go to that particular box. We pull that box out. We open the box. We discuss only what is in that box. All right? close the box and put it away, being very, very careful not to touch any other boxes. Sorry, my Catholic upbringing got in there for a minute, but I'm not a Catholic, but I went to Catholic school when I was little. I had a nun who taught on hell like she was born and raised there. I mean, I'll never forget it, but it did me good, actually. It was a good thing. Now, women's brains are very, very different from men's brains. Women's brains are made up of a big ball of wire. And everything is connected to everything. The money's connected to the car's connected to your job, and your kids are connected to your mother, and everything's connected to everything. It's like the internet superhighway. And it's all driven by energy that we call emotion. It's one of the reasons why women tend to remember everything. Because if you take an event and you connect it to an emotion, it burns in your memory and you can remember it forever. The same thing happens for men. It just doesn't happen very often because, quite frankly, we don't care. Women tend to care about everything. And she just loves it. Okay? Now, men, we have a box in our brain that most women are not aware of. This particular box has nothing in it. It's true. In fact, we call it the nothing box. And of all the boxes a man has in his brain, the nothing box is our favorite box. If a man has a chance, he'll go to his nothing box every time. That's why a man can do something seemingly completely brain dead for hours on end. You know, like fishing. And we love it. That's why a guy can sit in front of a TV and go. It close. Of course, this drives our wives nuts because they'll come up and say, "Stop it! You can't possibly be watching anything!" I'm not.
Can we have the link, please?
Yes, it's the Tale of Two Brains. It's a 15-minute thing on YouTube. It's a whole weekend actually. This is a pastor actually that deals with the relationship between men and women. But on YouTube, this is a Tale of Two Brains. So So just to get back to our discussion, the first part of it where the man's brain, the way he put it, is in little boxes, that's a sensing brain. I don't see it as man and woman, but in my language, that's a sensor, and that everything is related to everything. That's an intuitive. Yeah?
Is it true that when things are linked to emotions, they become more intuitive?
No, but this has to do with the right brain and left brain. Because intuition and feeling are right brains. So sometimes they're mixed up, but they're different. Intuition and feeling are different. Because actually this is the third dimension. We talk about feeling. Okay? So going to the third dimension, we're going a little bit faster. The third dimension is, are you a T or an F? Are you thinking or feeling? So the first dimension is energy. Second dimension is how do we perceive information. Third dimension is how do we make our decisions. Okay? How do we judge things? So thinkers and feelers. A thinker cares about equality. He cares about fairness. He wants to be fair with everybody. When he makes a decision for a group of people, he wants to be fair with everybody. The thinker. Okay? The feeler, he wants to treat everybody equally, and he wants to be fair with everybody. And yes, I said the same thing.
Yeah.
They both want to make a decision in a fair manner. But fairness for each one of them is totally different. And this is where you go into the workplace and you start fighting. This is not fair. It tells you this is not fair because you have a brain that tells you fairness is something, and she has a brain that tells you fairness is totally different thing. You both have the very good, very, very genuine need to be fair, but you're thinking about it differently. Thinking, they make decisions based on impartial criteria. They put a criteria, they put a rule, and everybody here should follow this rule, including me, including my wife, including everybody. Okay, impartial criteria. A feeler, they make decisions based on value-based, not principle-based. What is the difference between value-based and principle-based? Principle is something that you would go everywhere in the world and they are principles. And that's why in accounting there are the generally accepted principles. Right? Values differ between one company and another because it's very personal. And different people have different values. And this is what a feeler talk about. They seek harmony. They want everybody to be happy after this decision. A thinker doesn't care if you're happy or not, as long as I'm treating everybody equally. They're both fair after all, right? So, it's about subjectivity. Who's more subjective? The feeler is definitely more subjective. So if you want to make a decision, if we have a dispute, I want to bring a third person, we bring an objective person. We bring a T. Okay? So, we're making a decision for this group. There are two positions where I can put myself in. If I put myself here in the middle, and I call myself Amr, and then I call each one by her name, and take each person's values and preferences, and then make the decision, I'm a feeler. If I'm a thinker, I would put myself outside. I don't call myself Amr, I call myself X, and these people are Y, Z, A, B, C. And that's why it's called objective. I look at people as objects. I'm more objective, and I make my decision accordingly without taking into consideration how old are you, are you a male or a female. If we're firing 50 people of the office, I don't take into consideration you have a family, you don't have a family. It's principle based. The feeler would take this into consideration. Okay, are you both? Again, yes, you are both. I just want to know. Okay, Robin Hood. What did they used to do? What did he used to do? Rob the rich and... Yes, exactly. So he is a what? No. Not the TNF. He's a what? Is a thief? Is he a thief? Now, in our mind, he's what? Absolutely. The question is he a thief or a hero? He said me both. Yes. Today, if someone is stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, would you put him in jail?
Yes.
Okay? feeler, thinker, thinker. Exactly. He's a thief and he's a hero. And for the feeler, is saying, no, I wouldn't put him. So now you're giving me the okay to take this, sell it, but not for me. Give it to the poor. That's what you told me. Not a lot of people would think like that. Thinking about it for a thinker, it's still stealing. For some people. And for other people, it's not stealing, I'm helping the poor. And this person who got very rich, anyway he got rich, and it goes on. Yeah? So that's the difference between thinker and thinker. Would you put him in jail or not? It's a very difficult question. If he stole, would you give me the okay? Then who decides? And then it goes on. Yeah, exactly. A few years? Absolutely. Now, I'm not saying you, but the sentence that you said is a thinker. That's exactly my point. What you said is a thinker. And what the other person said, but I would put him 2 days in jail. Here. Which is beautiful. Yeah.
But then, however, you asked us what would you consider black mind thief?
Yeah. So I shook your brain. That's what I'm a bit cool. Again, I cannot give you answers. I just shake your brain. Okay? So, again, please put them. Again, F is on the right, T is on the left. Not like that. F on the right, T on the left, and choose for yourself.
Sorry, is it the thinker doesn't care about the other people's circumstances?
He probably cares. He probably cares, but he says he thinks that it's not fair for me to care. What's fair for me is to be just with everybody. That's the way he thinks. So he does have feelings, but he puts them as secondary. The feeler, he does have a brain, but he puts it secondary. Okay, so for the period, just to manage expectations, I think we're going to be finishing within 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? Excuse me? 100% here, I would say it's 99, but yes, a lot of people, they go over, they're very clear within themselves that I'm either or, yes. Yes, a lot of people are like that. Okay. The last dimension, the fourth dimension. Are you a P or a J? Now, perceiving or judging. The judging, by the way, is not judgmental. I'm not saying you are judgmental. What I'm saying is the following. What is the second dimension? Perceiving. What is the third dimension? Judging. Now, the fourth dimension, I'm asking you, are you a judger or a perceiver? You're going to tell me, but I'm both. Yes, again, you are both. But which your brain, it acts mostly on perceiving information and considering stuff, or more on making a decision and moving on? Is it more about time management, judging, or about being flexible, perceiving? More to come. Project management, by definition, is about time management, right? You finish one thing, you go to another. This is definitely a J person who came up with project management, because everything has to be timed. This person has a burden called a deadline. A deadline should be met. Sometimes on the expense of a good decision, but a deadline should be respected and met. If I have a decision at 4 o'clock and you come to me at 5 to 4 with a new information, I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry, you are too late, I have to make a decision and send it. Although probably the information you got me is important, I cannot put it, there is a deadline. A perceiver, a P, would say, I have a flexible mind, that I would accept any new information to the last minute. and that I should not really plan everything in my life because that's boring. I'm spontaneous. That's what they say. I'm spontaneous. A J person will tell you you're not spontaneous, you're just not organized. Okay? So a P person still have a to-do list. It's not that she doesn't have a to-do list. He or she has a to-do list, but it's not timed. So they have like 25 items on this to-do list. It might need like 3 days, but they put it in 1 day. They finish the day finishing 20% of it. They say, it's okay, I finish it tomorrow. A J person will have a to-do list that is timed. This task needs 3 hours. This 2 hours, so I will put 5 tasks. I cannot put more than that. That's a J person. She or he times everything. He times that I go to on the elevator, it needs me 5 minutes. I go into absolutely, yeah, that's a J person. He wants everybody to be under control and everything to be under control. And imagine the conflict between two people working together. One is a P and one is a J. And I'm pretty sure you have a lot of examples. So it's about your approach to life. A judging person, they want to live an ordered life. Very ordered, with goals and structure. They make a decision and move on. For them, this is the only way to live. Or else you'll be wasting your time. Yeah? Am I making sense in this sentence for some people? Some people say, yes, of course. Is there any other way? That's a judging. A perceiver, they want to live a spontaneous life. I'm flexible. I'm open to new information. I don't hold myself to anything because I'm out there. I'm more fun, yeah. And you're boring. And that person says you're wasting your time. More adventurous. Or he thinks of himself as such. You know when you say my desk is not a chaos. It's what? Organized chaos. Right? And the judge will say, you're fooling yourself. There's nothing called organized chaos. This is chaos. Yeah? So let me give you an assignment. Now, if you're wondering about your partner, we did not use her or him because we didn't have time. Okay? So let's go. I'm going to give you an assignment for tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. Each one of you should manage her or his closet from A to Z. Rearrange it. Okay? Yeah. Good luck with that. So a J person already, okay, if you're convinced about the goal that I'm setting you, is already thinking, we finish it at 8:20, and then I have dinner, I sleep at 12, wake up at 8, have my breakfast, 8:30, I take everything out of the closet, I put them on the bed, I put the shirts alone, the pants alone, and then I put them back at 10 o'clock, I'm there, the deadline met. Okay? That's the way they think. Pop, 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 pop. They're there. Okay? A P person will say, yes, okay, of course. I'm definitely gonna meet the deadline. Actually, you're telling me 10? I'm gonna do it tonight. How are you going to do it? Don't ask me. You want it at 10, you're gonna get it at 10. But don't ask me how I'm going to do it. So I go here, for example, I'm at 8. I finish at 8:20, I go and have dinner with some people. And I want to do it today because I want to sleep very comfortably. So I take everything out, I put them on the bed. While putting them on the bed, I find a pen. This pen actually is from my friend that has been looking for it for like 2 months. So at 12 o'clock in the morning, in the evening, I called him. Tell him, guess what? I found your pen. He said, oh, great, tomorrow you're going to give it to me in the office. No. I leave everything and I go to that person to have tea with. Right? And on the way back, I remember that I should, 12 o'clock in the evening, that's okay. Marodia. Bumlo at supermarket because I remember that I need some detergent. Yeah, so I go to the supermarket and while shopping for detergent, I remember that I need other stuff. So I get other stuff as well. I go back home at 1 o'clock in the morning just to discover probably that I still have the pen. And I bought a lot of things but not the detergent. So I have to sleep. I will not get it done now. So I will sleep on the couch because on the bed there are the stuff. So tomorrow morning I wake up in the morning very early because I have to finish it. I wake up at the early and I remember that I have to read the magazine. I read it and then I go. And then I read it and all of a sudden it's 15 to 10. I have a deadline to meet. What is the first option?
I didn't get.
Nobody told me. What's the first option? He calls me. He tells me, Amr, can we what? Postpone the deadline. The favorite thing to say. Postpone the deadline. I tell him no. Now, he's here. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. At this point, if you know a P that wants to meet his deadline and he will meet it, don't stand on his way because he will go berserk and he will do it within the time. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Take 3 seconds before you answer. Where is the better result? Thank you for the 3 seconds.
Same result.
Take 3 seconds.
It's the same.
Same result.
Same, but the way.
Yeah. So now a lot of people are getting different opinions, and by now you all expect that I would say same result, but the J still thinks that you are all fooling yourself. This is better. Yeah, because this is the only way we get things done. Okay?
This one's chaotic.
It's chaotic. Let me guess what you are.
I am.
No, I am the other one.
You are chaotic.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you waste time?
Yes.
Do you know procrastination? Some people who are, I mentioned that because some people who are P, they go into extreme P and they procrastinate, which is a waste of time. But being a P is not a waste of time. Procrastination is a waste of time. Okay? So,
Can someone's personality change by time?
excuse me?
Can someone's personality change by time?
The natural personality stays the same, but you adapt because you think that it's good to adapt to the other. But the natural, innate personality stays the same. But you learn, again, right and left. The chuckle and left beautifully, but the right will still be your natural. Okay? So, please put them P on the right, J on the left, and choose yourself. P on the right, J on the left. Because I did that the last minute. Excuse me? Yeah, clear. This 1, 2, 3. Yes, these are here and these are here. I'm sorry about that. Absolutely. That's what I use it for. It's for to do personality profiling. Both questionnaire by itself, in my opinion, is not the whole story. Our discussion is more important than the questionnaire. The questionnaire is a support field. Both are very important because when sometimes you were not at the beginning, you were saying that it's okay. Okay. So now you have 4 letters, right? You have 4 letters for your personality. That's what we call the first hypothesis, and this is not the whole story because usually you have a questionnaire that will tell you another hypothesis, the way you have answered, and then you'll get another perspective for the people who are not sure yet. It will give you another perspective. So again, we're not doing the whole exercise together. We're doing part of it. Okay? So let's look at that. If they were correct, right and left, you would think that there is a left brain and right brain, left brain and right brain. And it's not totally left and right as we were speaking. Sometimes you have some left aspects and some right aspects. Okay? So that's 20% of the story, because the rest is about the interaction between these letters. Don't worry, we're not getting into that in this evening. Yeah? The interaction between the letters is the real story. So an NT, how is he different than an NF? Only the TF? No. It's the interaction between the NT and the NF. That's a very interesting topic that is longer than this. Okay, and this is where we go deeper into the personality profiling and personality discussions. Okay? So now I would like to check the combination. If you have 4 clean letters that you are convinced of, or you're still struggling with one dimension, go to the last page, before the last page. There are small descriptions about each personality. Read it and see if it describes you well or not. And in order to prove that it's not horoscope, read another thing, read one that is far and see the difference. Yes, I do that in work. Okay? Any feedback on this more reading? Guys, right? Read something that is very different, just to make sure that we're not fooling it. Enter. What did you? Okay, so that's the second person asked one. Now we'll do it both. I don't have a problem. So, all what you did is what is called step 1. Step 2 is much deeper, as I told you. There are 144 questions to answer, multiple choices. It talks about your uniqueness within each type, as we said. If 2 are ESTJ, and now you know what ESTJ, they're not the same. So this step 2 goes into that clarity from step 1 discussions. And if you're saying you're not completely in I, what does that mean? We go into that in step 2, which we don't have time to do. Okay? And then you get reports that are 17-page report talking about you as a personality. And this is where the real discussion goes. So, excuse me? Questionnaire, there are two ways. So there is a paper questionnaire that sometimes we use, but this stops on step 1. It doesn't go deeper. And the online questionnaire that we do, it goes into step 2. Okay? But before, a lot of people, they say, okay, I like it, let me take it to my wife in order to understand it. Good luck with that first. That it doesn't work, because the way I prepared your mind to accept the differences is the trick. It's not only to answer questions. Okay? So if you need more information about your type, more than this small description, I'm very happy to provide you with it. Please send me by email your name and type, and I'll be happy to send you some readings about your type. Send it to mbti@mindidu.com, and you'll get a reply within 2 months. I'm giving you a hint. Okay? Now, remember what was the objective? My objective was to help you see things in a different perspective. Okay? So I hope that I have delivered that. I know that some people are now more confused about their personalities. It's okay. It's the first step into self-awareness, to be confused. So I hope that I managed to show you things from a different perspective, because that is my main objective of today. Not to lecture anything, as promised from the beginning. I like and I'm not like that we're so different. But absolutely. And I can like you, I can marry you, I can partner with you at work. But actually, the more different we are, the enemy is a different thing. We're talking about. So, my last message, my last couple of messages for today, guys, my last couple of messages for today is about being, as we said, comfortable with the self, right? We're saying that from the beginning. So, be a first-rate version of yourself, not a second-rate version of someone else. Okay? And that's very important. Sometimes you want to be a good version of somebody else. But guess what? The best thing that you can achieve is what? Number 2. Because there is number 1. So be a first version of yourself. This is absolutely everything. At the same time, if we talk about emotional intelligence, we're talking about how we can adapt to things, right? So the second thing is a window stuck open is as useful or as bad as a window stuck shut all the time. Because a window stuck open all the time and a window stuck shut all the time, they both lost its use, right? What a window for? It's to open whenever you want and close whenever you want. Exactly the same thing for a mind. If you have a closed mind or a personality that you cannot adapt to others, then you've lost the use of your brain. So be true to yourself, but do not forget adaptation to others. Thank you very much.